This is Andrea Askowitz of Writing Class Radio. Our submission period is now open. Send us your best personal story, 1,200 to 1,500 words on any topic. Please check our submission guidelines at writingclassradio.com. We pay.
We have new theme music by Justina Chandler.
Never thought I could get away. Felt so
Justina Chandler is a singer-songwriter, performer, and teacher, and she's the bomb.
Walls were closing in, but then you opened my door.
Thank you, Justina, for letting us use your music on our podcast. We love it, and we hope you guys do too. And this is episode 51. This is the last time you'll hear the following pitch until October 2019.
This is Andrea.
And this is Allison. And we've been thinking about why we do this podcast. Because we started this business and then we realized this is a shitload of work. It's taking us away from other things we want to do, even just being with our family and having another job that makes money to pay for things. I started going through old emails just to sort of be inspired. Like, should we keep going and should we continue to do this? And I ran across this email from a listener. His name is Larry Silver, and he sent us this.
I listen to your podcast and am amazed at how you and the others are able to strip down to your bare emotional selves. You are exposed, vulnerable, and from my point of view, not safe. By doing so, however, you reassure your listeners that your inner demons are not so different from theirs. It's a cathartic journey for both you and listeners like me.
Thank you, Larry. I mean, I think when he sent that, he probably had no idea that that was going to be inspiration to sort of keep us going. But the other thing that is going to be inspiration for keeping us going is money. We're going to spend the next few minutes talking about money.
And asking for money.
We've asked you to support us, but we only have a handful of people that get off their wallet and say, we're going to send money. Why? Why are those people giving money, and why aren't you?
I heard this pitch by Sam Harris where he spent several minutes on the Waking Up podcast asking for money. The first thing he said, which I thought was really beautiful, and we're just going to steal those words. If giving even a few dollars causes you any financial stress, then this appeal is not directed at you. But for everyone else, we are going to tell you why it's important for you to give, why we want you to give, why we want you to be a part of
this movement. Let's see. We started Writing Class Radio because why? We wanted to open lines of communication and understanding, and we know that storytelling brings people together. Here's the thing. What we're doing is we are now appealing to the people who are enjoying the stories that we put out and asking them to please value us and show us that they value us by donating.
Being a donor makes you part of a bigger movement of storytellers and storytelling podcasts that use stories to help us understand each other. It's like a club. Be a part of that club. We have a mission here that we believe in. We're actually storytelling missionaries. We care so much about writing and sharing our stories because we know that writing and sharing our stories helps people come together. And it's a worthy mission, and we want you to be a part of it.
We get between 5,000 and 15,000 listeners per episode.
There's that many people out there who have been enjoying this podcast for 3 years. I didn't think anyone would pay for it from the beginning, but at this point, I'm thinking, all right, we want you to pay for what you value. If you like this podcast, you should pay for it.
We think we're worth paying for.
Here's your favorite expression. Get off your wallet and support this show that we know you love.
Until now, we've just been raising money by teaching classes that normally we would just put in our pockets, but we've been funneling into this podcast. And we believe that the podcast should pay for itself. We also have big plans.
We want to do a whole prison series.
Yeah. And we want to take the show on the road. You know, we want to go to different cities and teach classes and, have live shows and stuff. I mean, that's our goal, but So
and
far.
it would be nice to pay our staff
Yeah.
a fair wage.
And ourselves.
I'm saying
Yeah,
our
yeah.
staff.
Staff, me and you.
Including us
Yeah.
and our audio producer.
Talking about money is awkward, but we need it and we want to keep this podcast going. And we really hope that you value us enough to go ahead and get on our website and click the donate button and make it happen for us.
If you hear these stories and you feel less alone, that's what we're talking about. If that happens to you just the littlest bit, please support us.
To the degree that you find us valuable, right? So if you go to the movies and, you pay $14 to go see a movie once a month, maybe send us $14, right?
Yep.
If you go get a pizza every week for your whole family, it's $25. I mean, just, something like that. If you get massages, if you go to spin class, whatever you find, whatever's in your wallet that you feel that isn't going to make a huge dent, we would like to be considered. I hope you find us valuable. And don't be like me, that person who thinks that everybody else is donating, so I don't have to, and that I click through it. Really, we need you to be the person who supports the things they love and value.
So go to Writing Class Radio and hit the Support Us button. I'm Andrea Askowitz, and this is Writing Class Radio, where you'll hear true personal stories from the students in our class and learn a little bit about how to write your own stories.
And I'm Allison Langer. Together, we produce this podcast, which is equal parts heart and art. By heart, we mean the truth in a story. By art, we mean the craft of writing. No matter what's going on in our lives, writing class is where we tell the truth. It's where we work out our shit. There's no place in the world like writing class, and we want to bring you in. So welcome to season 6. For the next 8 weeks, we will be bringing you the Andrea Show. Andrea, you may know from listening to the previous 50 episodes. But if you're new to Writing Class Radio, Andrea is my co-producer and co-host. In the stories we will bring you in this series, I have been Andrea's primary editor, as I have been all the students in our class.
But mostly you.
But mostly me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything more right this second because I want Andrea's story to do the explaining. All right, so here's Andrea reading Happy Birthday.
I'm 50 today. I had lunch at a Jewish deli with my whole family. I surprised my kids and took them out of school. My brother, who's 2 years older, asked me what I was doing for my birthday. I said, bagels with the family. When my brother turned 50, he had a family dinner at the Forge, which is as expensive as it sounds. He also had 3 or 4 parties. I'm not sure the exact number because I wasn't invited to all of them. So many people asked me what I was doing for my 50th, it took all my wits not to panic. Your 50th comes with more pressure than New Year's Eve. All New Year's Eves. At least mine did. I get it. I'm half a century old. I should celebrate. Or should I write my will? 3 people reminded me today that I have less life ahead of me than behind. Apparently, one of those uplifting guru people, I think it's Marianne Williamson, is famous for saying something about how at 50 we're closer to death. How is this uplifting? I went to her website to figure it out, and right there on her homepage is a giant quote that says, "Youth is over. You have one last chance to get it right. You might be feeling a bit depressed." I appreciate this hard truth approach. I have trouble with other guru types because the advice always comes off like a stupid and obnoxious platitude. Like, you'll never be this young again. No, duh. Or age is wisdom. It is. Or age is just a number. Right. But for me, that number is 50, which is a half century. I know I'm a lot younger than, say, my mom, who I really felt for this afternoon when it occurred to me that her baby is 50. What a mindfuck. I know my mom is not hip on aging. Get her started and she'll go on about the bullshit double standards for older men versus women, the invisibility of older women, and her personal struggle with buying green bananas. But today she seemed cool with her baby being 50, at least on the outside. At least, unlike several of my friends who beat me to 50, she didn't mention the colonoscopy. Here's what I'm feeling. Old. Well, older. Of course, because I am older. Last year on my birthday, I felt older too, and older too the year before. But this year is a little different. I got caught up on Twitter a few days ago and came across a quote by Ray Bradbury. Write a short story every week. It's not possible to write 52 bad short stories in a row. This nugget is not a platitude. I'm a slow writer. I want to write better. I want to write faster. And like Marianne Williamson says, I have one last chance to get it right. Because there's no time like the present, because turning 50 is better than the alternative, and because you only live once, I'm going for it. This year, the year I turn 50, I'm going to write 50 essays in 50 weeks. Gives me 2 weeks off. One down.
Why the challenge? Why did you need a challenge at 50?
Oh, God. That's such a good question. I mean, and I do think I sort of answer it in the piece. I guess I really wanted to seize the day because I am 50, which means I am going to die soon, sooner than when I was 0. So I want to get better. And that gave me I want to get better as a writer.
Is that the only reason?
Fear of death, wanting to get better as a writer. What are you getting at?
No, I'm wondering, is at age 50, do we start wondering what our legacy is going to be? And so is this part of your legacy? That's what I'm wondering, is like, or I don't know. I mean, I'm wondering because I do think like for me, I'm 52, right? So 50 also.
Oh, right.
And so like I start wondering like, well, is this it? Is what am I doing with my life? Am I wasting it?
I'm definitely big time midlife crisis right now. Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't know that it has to do with like leaving a legacy, but maybe it does. Maybe I want to produce something more than the book that I produced that is still on my computer, not sold, that we talked about in this podcast years ago.
Yeah.
And you totally laughed because it got rejected several times. So anyway, I'm just starting a new project. I decided to start a new project and I'm 21 weeks in and I've been doing it.
Yeah.
Kicking my ass.
And we're going to bring you the top, I don't know, maybe like, I'd say we're doing 8. So who's top? Maybe my top, your top, like our combined, like our favorite ones that so far have been published, we want to bring to you so you can hear our voices. What prompted Andrea to write about that subject, what the editing process was like, and what's happened since from writing that essay, half a year in. How does it feel? How does the legacy feel?
I'm not quite halfway though.
No, not today.
Yet. Yeah, exactly. And so it's still, it's hard. And if you want to make a comment about this story or any story, I'm totally open to comments, questions, and complaints.
Excellent. Thank you for listening. And thank you, Andrea, for sharing your story. If you want to read all of Andrea's stories, they're on our blog at writingclassradio.com. Writing Class Radio is produced by Virginia Laura, Andrea Askowitz, and me, Allison Langer. Theme music and additional music by singer-songwriter Justina Chandler. Writing Class Radio is sponsored by and recorded at the Launchpad at the University of Miami. There's more Writing Class on our website, Twitter, and Facebook, including video classes, stories to study, editing resources, and workshops available for hire. If you love this show and enjoy all the extras on our website, hit the Support Us button. A new episode will drop every Wednesday, so look for us. There's no better way to understand ourselves and each other than by writing and sharing our stories. Everyone has a story. What's yours?
Hi, I'm Michelle Davis, host of Maverick Makers. Every week, I'm meeting entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs who are making it happen. These bold thinkers are taking big risks, are trailblazing the way in their industries and lives, and are changing how things are done or made. You will learn about their journeys, their lessons learned, and their biggest Maverick moves to date. Listen to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, or at maverickmakerspodcast.com.